Connor was busy doing YMCA basketball. Kind of noticed he was getting a little tired, and he had come home one day from basketball and said something about a rash he had on the back of his neck, and he had mentioned a rash that he had on his legs. So my husband said, well, he's staying home. He says his tummy doesn't feel good. That was the next day after doing an hour of basketball practice, and they took him to our pediatrician. And then she thought maybe it was mono or something like that, so they did a blood test there locally. And as soon as it came back, I got a phone call. I was obviously working, and it was 3 in the afternoon where my husband called and said I took Connor in. He explained what they said, and we're supposed to pack a bag and take Connor down to Children's by 6 o'clock. They'll be waiting to admit him.
And you're from Oshkosh.
And we're from Oshkosh, correct. So we packed our bag, and Connor, we just didn't really know what was going on, but his pediatrician suspected leukemia because of his high white blood cell count. So we got to Children's and got in the hospital room, and Mason, Connor's older brother, came with us, and they're horsing around in the room because at that time, he wasn't sickly or anything. He was still Connor, right? So they did another blood test when we got down here, and they confirmed it was leukemia. So we started chemo right away that night when we got down here on a Friday night. So they send the leukemia cells out, and they break them down by chromosomes. So 2 weeks we went through the induction phase, and then when we went back for a clinic visit is when we got the news that he had this more rare acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which is PH positive, and it's from how it's described to us is there's 2 chromosomes that are crisscrossed and misconnected, which then makes it more difficult to get rid of his type of leukemia. Then once they gave us that news, which was a little shocker because now we're going down a different path, because of the research that the MACC Center has done, we chose to try this new drug to help cure him from his leukemia. Connor went into remission by the end of March. No leukemia cells has not presented with any leukemia cells since then, and now we've had ups and downs going through the whole protocol with reactions to chemos and different things, but MACC Center and all the staff, can't say enough about the staff, the nurses, the doctors. We're there to hit every hurdle that Connor presented to them, and we got over them, and we've successfully made it to the recovery stage. So now he'll be off his chemo in 2 weeks. So it typically takes 2.5 years for his protocol, but some of these hurdles stopped the protocol because he was in total kidney failure, and I see the PICU at Children's. So they stopped his protocol, get him healthy enough so that he could start it back up. So there were a couple months drawbacks from just reactions to the chemo that his body couldn't, handle. He was an avid athlete. I mean, he liked the football, the baseball, the basketball, and all of that, but some of the chemo has caused physical limitations now, neuropathy. He's getting better at it now that chemo's off. He should be able to jump back. He's looking forward to playing football maybe next spring. But what has picked up his competitiveness from sports is now he's gotten more into hunting and trap shooting and so forth. So, and he enjoys doing that very much with his dad. And joined the trap shooting league on his team. He has shot 2 perfect 25, so he's a pretty good shot. Being involved with the MACC Center, I don't think we would be sitting here today as happy as we are with the results of that. So we can't say enough about the research that is done for us